Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to ask the question, is it time to buy or are we going even lower? Is there some more downside to come this Thanksgiving week, or did we have the low of Thanksgiving week yesterday, Tuesday? So we're going to look to answer those questions. I'm going to share my thoughts. We're going to look at the charts. Of course, before we do that, you know what I'm going to say. If you're a regular watcher, smash the like button. This helps get this content out to more people and does help support the channel. And I do appreciate all the kind words that those of you who take the time to write those in the comment section. I do read those and respond to those. Appreciate that, as well as the questions that get left in the comment section. I do get back to those as soon as I am able to. Now, below in the description of this video and every video is something called my cheat sheet. So if you're new to the channel, I have a free resource. It is my crypto roadmap to success in this bull run, and you can access this just below this video. You might have to click on the more button, and then the description will pop out, and it's the top link there. And also below in the description, there is also a link for the Discord with the most amazing people on the planet. There are plans where you can get signed up. And right now we have a Black Friday special. And so if you use the code that is below in the description there of this video, you can get 25% off there. So check that out as well. And we are going to jump into some news, and then we're going to look at the charts. And so yesterday I had tweeted that I'll be watching the daily close today for Bitcoin. A daily close above the 92,800 level may indicate that Thanksgiving week dip more likely made its low today. A close below brings in the next level down into play, which is about 88,600. So I had said my prediction for this dip was between 88 to 89,000, somewhere in that range I felt would be the low. And we hit 90,000. Somebody's been watching this channel and decided, hey, we're not going to give you your Thanksgiving level there. And it got stopped at around the 90K level, okay? Now, remember, of course, that this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And so we didn't quite come down to get that, but that doesn't mean that we can't. And we'll look at the Bitcoin charts in a moment. Of course, we did close under that 92,800 level. We did close under that. And so there is a possibility that we still have this lower level that may come into play before we reach Thanksgiving and Black Friday. But I've got a little bit more of information to share, so just hang in there. Thanksgiving to Christmas, I did share that I would research into this and get back to everybody here. The Thanksgiving to Christmas and our halving year has been 3 for 3. If you're in baseball and you're batting 3 for 3, that's a pretty good day at the plate. 2012, a 27% gain from Thanksgiving to Christmas, 33% gain from 2016, and 99% gain from Thanksgiving to Christmas in 2020. That would be pretty astonishing. I guess that would put, well, depending where the price of Bitcoin ends up in this Thanksgiving week, that could put us anywhere around 180K there. We've come down to 90, so 100% gain would be pretty astonishing there, okay? So that's interesting. And you can actually see it in the graphics here. There's the little turkey, there's the little Christmas. You can see the gain in 2012. You can see the next gain there in 2016, the 33%. And then you can see the final one here, a big parabolic move up in 2020 Thanksgiving price action, for those of you who remember that incredible move that we had to the upside. Now, we've got to also keep into account what are the market makers up to, because it is very much a leverage market, and it seems that there is not a lot of Bitcoin liquidity left. All the liquidity is above it. Send it. He says send it, full send. And we're going to look at the liquidation levels in the moment and see if I agree with that or maybe, because remember, these change all the time. People are adding shorts and longs all the time, borrowing money on high leverage, and these charts can change all the time. So we want to look at the latest, most updated chart there in just a moment. There are also these heat maps for buy orders. Okay, so liquidation levels for longs and shorts are different than buy orders, and there at the moment are 12,200 limit buy orders from whales waiting to get filled. And this is why we saw that bounce from the $90,000 level. And you can see there are more orders there down there at 90 and just below 90,000. So that can seem to indicate. Now, these orders can also be removed, of course, if the whales feel that the price is going to go lower. But this would seem to indicate that the price there at maybe we have put in a low at 90, or maybe we can just come in and touch that. And there's orders down here as well, down to 88. So certainly those things could come into play still, but that's a very interesting stats to keep an eye on and to note. It's also interesting to note that 4 billion worth of short-term Bitcoin holders sold at a loss. Hey, can't. These are people that have not been watching the Tribal Trades channel, where we sell pumps and we buy dumps. We do not sell the dips. We buy the dips, we buy the red candles, and we sell the green candles. We panic sell green candles and we panic buy the red candles, okay? So this is astonishing, really, there. Let's have a moment of silence. So those people that didn't have a long-term conviction, they'd only just bought Bitcoin for this little run out, they're cashing out. And that's essentially, for me, what the market makers want. They want to liquidate all of the retail investors who went long or short. Obviously, in this case, those who went long with high leverage, they've been liquidated. Market makers taking the money, and then those people panic sold, and the whales have bought up that Bitcoin. You saw all those big orders, whale Bitcoin orders, just looking to scoop up that Bitcoin from the retail who panic sold. And then, of course, there are now more high leveraged shorts than longs. How do you know that retail is shorting? Because institutions don't use high leverage. I don't use high leverage at all, at all. I don't use high leverage at all. I was going to say, I don't use high leverage either. I use 3x, no more than 3x, but retail uses 50x, 100x, and 200x. I can't even at that point. And so this is why we're seeing a little bit of a bounce in Bitcoin. It could just be a liquidation hunt before we go lower, or maybe if shorts continue to open and there's liquidation above, maybe we can move on out of here. We're going to talk about that in a moment there. And then just lastly, before we jump into the charts, this is the data about the Bitcoin inflow to Coinbase Prime. You can see there, the last time that this happened, it shows the highest Bitcoin inflow to Coinbase Prime. Last time this happened, Bitcoin dropped from 66 to 49,000. Should we be worried? Well, of course, we saw that drop already take place, and that drop may be over. And that's why we're going to jump into the charts and check out and see what the charts is saying to us. So first of all, you notice here on the hourly time frame, there was some bullish divergence. The price went lower on the hour, but the RSI went higher. So that's why we saw a bit of a jump in price. I feel that has played out. If we look in the 4-hour time frame, we saw the same thing take place there. There was also some bullish divergence on the 4-hour, I believe, down there. And we've seen a bit of a recovery from there as well. Now we jump onto the daily time frame here, and look, we did have there's the Lux Algo order block. There's all those whales down there with their buy orders there. And if we move now to the daily time frame, and we have this is quite bullish. I mean, there's a nice strong wick there, but you see the strong wick above, and so we did close. We did have a daily close that was under. And here's what I'll say in regards to all this, is that those who try to pick bottoms get smelly fingers. And I know that's a gross analogy, but it's one you will never forget and one that will help you. I wasn't trying to pick the bottom yesterday. I showed, if you haven't seen my video from yesterday, my altcoin video where I showed my strategy on how I was buying yesterday's dip, that has worked out extremely well so far in some of those swing trades. I was able to take some profits on those swing trades as they hit. And if you haven't seen my cheat sheet, I have the daily swing trades tab here. that you can actually check out. And you can see I had a nice swing there with HNT. I was able to make some good gains on that there with HNT and a few others there. The injective trade that I'm in a Tau trade that is absolutely crushing at the moment. And I set my sell order from my swing trade. I'm not totally getting out of that swing trade. I'm just going to take partial profits on that at the as Tau got up to 575. I actually set it at 574 just to make sure I got it, just in case they try to shortchange me by $1. And so I'll get off the stream and I'll see if that has also taken some partial profits. In the Discord, I gave the entry level for Tau at around 538. That's absolutely turned out to be a killer trade. If you're not in the Discord, I give live up-to-date trades in there. And so, again, there's the Black Friday special. You can get signed up on that. But if we go back to the Bitcoin chart, so here's what I'll say in regards to this, is that it's possible that the low was in. It's possible that the low was in. I want to see what the close today is going to look like. If we see this stay above here and close above this level, then I'm more likely to lean towards that the Bitcoin low was in on Tuesday, and the buys that I got in on Tuesday, which I had an amazing amount of buys that hit on Tuesday, is in, and that worked out. And sure, there's a bunch of lower buys that didn't get hit, and I can live with that, and that's okay because I have my grid trading strategy, which I shared in yesterday's altcoin video. Check that out. And then from there, what we have is that we did have a fairly bearish close. We closed under here. So if we drop back down below there, hit below there, we could well come back down to this level down here. And again, I'm not trying to pick a bottom. What have we seen so far as drops go? The drop that we have seen, and this is going to be an approximate drop that we have seen. I said it was going to be around 10%. And we almost had, what do we have here? Almost a 9% drop, 8.75% drop, which would be in line in other years. I said to you the Thanksgiving drop was coming. I said the drop would be anywhere between 6 and I thought 17%, because 17% would take us to about 83K. That might still happen, by the way, but I thought a minimum of 6% to 17%. That's what we've seen in previous years. That's what the Thanksgiving dip has generally been, and I felt it wouldn't be any different. I was leaning more towards the 10% ratio. It looks like I'm going to miss that by about 1.25%. I might have missed that, and I'm okay with that because really there are no guarantees. There are only probabilities, and we might still get there. If we were to get to that 10%, that would bring us down to that $89,000 level, which is what I felt we would get down to, and we may still get down to that level. So let's keep an eye on the charts. Either way, I've got my orders, my buy orders are set. If we come down further, I've got more buy orders there, and if we don't, I've got a bunch of buy orders that got filled already. Okay, and some of the altcoins, and we won't touch on this too much because we'll talk about this more in the altcoin show. But if we look at Bitcoin dominance, there's Bitcoin dominance. The reason why initially altcoins were taking a little bit of a hammering down there, you can see this big wick down, but then they recovered and it started to push up. Maybe I'll push on the 4-hour time frame there for Bitcoin dominance. And you can see that there was a little bit of they did take a little bit of a drop, and we are starting, Bitcoin dominance is starting to go down a little bit. Let's go to the hour time frame there. And yeah, so it's kind of remained steady from the last 8 to 10 hours. We're staying at around this level. Looks like there's some support there at 58.4%. And I'm going to talk about altcoin season, where I see Bitcoin dominance going. I've got some insight there that I'm going to share in the altcoin show in a couple of hours. Let's jump over to the liquidation levels here. And if we look at this liquidation heat map, let's go to the 24-hour time frame here and just see what we can see. And you can see that now, look, there is more liquidity down below price at 91,500. There's more down here at 90,297, and even down to, there's a small amount at 89,445. And so there is, again, I wanted to show you a more up-to-date. There they came back up and they got that liquidity there, and now there's that liquidity below at 91,500. There's 50 million of it down there, And then as we come down lower, there's a little bit more. Let's look at some of the other, and this is why it's important to keep an eye on this and don't just look at it once in the day and then come back and say, oh, what happened? Well, what happened is a lot can change. But you can see on the longer time frames, the market makers are going to come up and get this money. So, this is why I'm saying, those who try to pick bottoms get smelly fingers is because, it's 90, what are we at, 93,000 at the moment. That they're going to come and get this. Whether they come and get this level down here, that's 50 million at 91,000. There's another 40 million down at 90,000. It would feel to me that it would be in the market maker's best interest to go and get this money first before going up getting this, rather than going all the way up there to get all this money and then come all the way back down again there. That would be out of character to what we've seen in the bull run so far. So my feeling is that it just makes more sense. I mean, this is what I asked. This is why I asked in the Discord and say, hey, looking at this chart, if you're the market maker, what are you doing next? And I think, well, if I'm the market maker, what am I going to do next? I'm going to come and grab this stuff down here before I go up and get this stuff above. Let's look at the 3-day chart. Let's see if we can see anything there. Again, there is a bunch of liquidity down there at 90,000, at 56 million and 57 million. Unless they just want to fake us out. They want to fake us out and induce a whole bunch more shorts to come in the market. And the shorts, the people who want to go short are looking here going, oh, I think the market maker is going to come down and get the stuff down here. What do you think, Barry? And then Barry says, oh, yeah, mate, let's go short with 100x. Oh, my gosh, 200x. And the market makers go, no, well, let's go up and get that. So it's a possibility they might just leave that for later. And that could possibly happen there. But let's go to the 1-week chart here and let's see if we can see anything further about coming to the downside. Again, there is a bunch of, not much. There's, like I said, about 100 million left down there around that 90,000 zone. So that might now be the bottom there, and we might come back and revisit it. I might not get my 89K. We might have dropped 1K short, but I was pretty on the button with that. If we don't, I can live with that because I did give everybody a great warning there. I know many of you people who were able to get out of positions and now buy them back a lot lower because of the statistics and the thoughts that I shared out here. And if I miss it by 1K, I can live with that. I can live with a 99,000 down to 90K drop. I thought it would come to 89. Maybe we aren't going to see that. You can see this massive liquidity up here at that 100K level there as well. All right, well, we are going to wrap it up there. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, until the next episode, which is the Altcoin show that's going to be coming your way at about 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, stay tuned for that. Until then, happy trading.